Welcome everyone to the Wild and Wild podcast. We have been waiting so long to bring this to life. I'm here with the beautiful Louise.
Hello.
And this is our first episode. We are bringing to you from this gorgeous studio, and we are just so excited for this journey. We are going to go deep in conversations with female CEOs, incredible women from our community. We're going to give you growth hacks, real raw conversations on how to help you thrive in business and in life. And it's going to be a journey. We're going to really take you on a journey, aren't we, Lou?
Yes, we are very, very excited to be here. This has been a long time coming, hasn't it?
It has.
So I'm so grateful to be here and to have our amazing listeners follow this journey with us. Really exciting.
And what a community. Like in the space of 2 years, what we've built and created.
Honestly, mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either of us ever envisioned it would be this big, and it is getting bigger all of the time, which is so beautiful because it is such a heart-centered community. This isn't just a business, it's a movement.
Definitely.
And it's beautiful.
And I want to get that across to people that are new here, like really go to the roots of what we're trying to do at Wild and Wild, what we're trying to build. And it's all about giving back to these incredible women in our community.
Yeah, that's it. So what is the origin of Wild and Wild? Like, where on earth did this amazing business come from?
Well, like you said before, it's a movement. Wild and Wild has always been about helping women thrive and be the best versions of themselves and feel like they're unstoppable. And it all started actually from a time when I felt like I was a little bit isolated. I was craving community. It was actually my little girl, my fourth baby was in NICU, and I was coming out of NICU with as a mum, and I just felt quite isolated. I felt quite low in my life, and I'd lost direction. And I'd also just lost my mum. She'd passed away. And I just started to reflect, and I decided to sell the business that I was in at that time, which was in hospitality. I had a wellness cafe. And I just started to crave bringing people together. I just decided to start a little community event in my local town at a coffee shop, a feast, which was amazing. My first event, and you helped me, didn't you, on that first one?
Yeah.
We brought people, all these mums together with their little babies. And how many did we have? There was
It was a very full space. There were babies everywhere. It was such a gorgeous vibe. You'd think it'd be chaos, but it was like beautiful chaos.
It was magical. And I think Rose was only like 2 months old or 3 months old. And I just thought I'll do something for the community and we'll do little gifts and things like that. And it just grew. Everyone was like, when's the next one? When's the next one? So we started in the mum and baby space. I was like, oh, we'll do mum and baby events. And then people started to say, how cool would it be to have like empowered speakers and like actually give people takeaways? So I was like, oh, I know some great women in my community. So little by little, we started hosting networking events. And I remember that first one at that lovely pub in Holmes Chapel, and like, it was full. Like every event was starting to sell out. And I know so many inspirational women from the work I've been in anyway. I'm a wellness practitioner, yoga teacher, and I've always had a passion in business, like to grow and thrive. So yeah, it's from there, 2 years ago, it's grown now into such a network. Like across the UK, we're growing. This month we launch into Chester, Staffordshire. We're going into like North Wales, Manchester. It's mental. Like it's kind of like a roller coaster. And I feel like sometimes I'm a little duck on a water and I'm very calm on the surface, but my little legs are going like this. And you know, Lou, like...
Yeah, there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Like when you brought me on, it was initially just to help with social media. And then we quickly realized that there is so much more to do. And I was like, how have you been doing this all by yourself? This is insane.
And
exciting, but
we're
insane.
now like content creators, like editors,
everything.
Event planners.
Wellness teachers, wellness retreat holders.
Yeah. Admin, everything.
Everything.
So we are learning now. We need to start to bring more people on. So what's exciting is we're bringing on ambassadors. We're starting to let these people, I'm trying to let other women lead. This has always been at the ethos of Wild and Wild, is the community. So I want to help take these women who already have incredible businesses, But through my platform, because we've grown, I want them to grow with us. So say these ambassadors come on board, we're going to have our access to our community, and we'll do advertisement for them, we'll do promotion for them, and hopefully win-win. When we collaborate, we build powerful things.
That's it. Collaboration over competition. It is all about just spreading out, extending that reach to so many more people, and just providing those enriching opportunities for more women across the world. Because something that we talk about a lot is loneliness being an epidemic, and how dangerous that is to your physical health as well as your mental well-being.
Oh, it's mad. What's that statistic we always say?
It's as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
15
Loneliness, like isolation. I mean, come on. So having a movement, a business that is centered around true connection and community is just one of the most powerful things. You know, you are really touching so many people's lives, and by providing these opportunities for women to come together, meet new people, not just only in business and make those really important connections in their professional lives, but they're making real friendships too, people that they see outside of work. And when they come together monthly, because most women come back month after month, they recognize each other, they've become really close friends. And it's just spreading. It's like a beautiful network of friendships that are just popping up all over the place.
It's that ripple. And I think what I really underestimated this. I didn't realise that all the people coming to our events would then, the stories I hear after, like, because we always do the 1 minute little connection at the end. Everyone gets a minute to stand up with a microphone and tell people about their purpose, their passion, their business. And you'll hear across the room like, oh, that person sounds cool. I want to work with her. And so I might see across the room a videographer. And then what always surprises me is how many of these people go on to work together. And there's like, we go on to recommend each other. We have our WhatsApp group, we have our online community. And it's like we're all sisters. We're just rising each other up. And I think when you just first come to one event, you don't really understand the full power of, if you really get involved in our community, we're literally like cheerleaders for each other.
That's it. That is the most powerful thing. It is about a group of women, a large group of women that's growing all the time, that cheer each other on and have got each other's backs.
Yeah.
And you ask for support or a recommendation or advice in business or personal. And there's always an answer from several different people who will give different points of view as well. So you're not just going to get a one-sided perception from somebody. It's well, I've actually experienced this, and this was my experience of it.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to create the community, because the online community, because we were holding these monthly events. Now we do them in multiple venues across the UK. But I realised that people need that support on the weekly. So now we've got this online community that has like podcasts, self-care classes, ebooks, like business talks with experts. And we have the online bi-weekly webinars where we just talk about growth tactics. And so you don't just leave one of these events like, oh, now what? You actually have a community to build with.
You've got that space to use back home as well.
And I love our WhatsApp group that just lights up. Like, everyone wants to help each other at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about just helping each other out. And together we do go further. I know that that's our tagline, but together we do go further. Bringing women together has made everybody within that community just level up. Mm-hmm. Because when you spend your time around inspirational people and people that lift you up, and that it does encourage you to think, oh, maybe I could do that. Or do you know what? If she can do it, so can I. And I do feel confident enough to do that now.
That surprised me as well, how many people have imposter syndrome and lack of confidence. Like, that is the key thing when we go around the room and say, what do people want to take away from today? People are like, I want to be able to get on stage like you do, or I want to have the confidence to take that decision and grow more. And I'm like, I just want women to feel that anything is possible. That you all out there can achieve anything you put your mind to. Like, I mean, I might get a bit emotional, but my mom grew up in a council house, had no money, and she somehow turned a seed of an idea over on a dinner table. It was actually my grandma's idea. They were sat having dinner. My mum had just got back from travelling, and she was only, 20? And my grandma said, you two should go into business. Her dad, my granddad, and my mum. And she was sick of him selling his ideas for cheap. So she said, well, I could be your lead in marketing and help you grow. And she set up in British manufacturing and helped my granddad, who was the inventor, sell his products in flooring. And if my mum can go from a council house to a global empire with offices in 30 countries worldwide, like, really take that in, back in a day, like 40 years ago, 50 years ago, when there were no women leaders in this area, anything's possible. Like, she went on to get an MBA, pioneer of the life of a nation, had lunch with the Queen twice. I mean, I used to come home to her telling me stories about stroking the corgis at the table and all this. It was just madness. And like, I just have to, I think I'm lucky, privileged to have a mum like that sadly she's not with us anymore, but she made me know that anything's possible. But what was beautiful is she'd get involved in like young enterprise and go into schools. She would literally spend most of her weeks just going to schools and teaching the young generation that you can achieve this. And there's a big gap still with women and men, that women don't feel enough, or after having children that they don't have the same opportunities as men. It's still prevalent. So as with Wild and Wild, I'm on a mission to show women that we can do just as much as anyone. You know, all these people we look up to on socials, you can have that lifestyle. You just got to believe in yourself.
Yeah, it's all about, not having those limiting beliefs and really truly believing that you can do anything, but it does take work to get there.
Yes, exactly. We can't, we love manifesting, don't we, Lou?
Yeah, you have to put action.
Yeah.
We've
got to have some grit and hard work, and it's business can be hard, and also we often in our society look for a short-term return in investment. So like, we're so used to like next day deliveries and all these easy, social media promises, 30-day goals, 30-day challenges. Like, it's not sustainable. When you're in business, you get in business, you've got to make 5-year, 10-year goals. And I heard this theory about the rule of thirds the other day, that only a third of your life you're going to be really happy and successful and positive and like feeling like you're achieving. But for 2/3 or a third, you might feel a bit low and like, I'm struggling a bit and I need inspiration. And some bits you're like mediocre in the middle. So it's recognizing we can't always be on this high.
That's it. That's not what life's about. Everybody says like, my goal is just to be happy all the time. There's a very small percentage of people that can live like that. But we all have challenges that are going to stand in our way, obstacles, health, family, things that...
Grief and all sorts of stuff.
And we can't, I think if we let go of the attachment to being happy, like it's a destination, then you can just live a much more comfortable life.
Choose now, choose right now.
And being present.
To be happy in this moment, but then maybe a bit later, you might just need to take yourself out in nature and have some still time. And it's good to cry and be sad sometimes. That's just as important, to let your emotions out and try and, so yeah, it's been a real whirlwind of a journey, this has. And I'm learning, and I think you're always learning in business. Like I'm a yoga teacher as well, so I always say I'm the student first. I always learning from the people around me and taking in knowledge. And that's one of the reasons we had to launch the podcast, because we meet inspirational women every day and we're like, we need you. So that's something we wanted to touch on, wasn't it, Lou? Like, we have had the most incredible guests, haven't we? Speakers.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And they are life-changing. Like, when you come to a Wild Wild event, you're not just coming to sit in a room with amazing people. You're coming to listen and learn from leaders in their industries. Like my first experience with Wild and Wild, when I came to the first networking, I wasn't officially working for you then. I just came to help out, and you'd offered me a ticket, and as I was just helping out, like putting some little cards on the tables.
Oh my God, that feels so long ago now.
Yeah,
like, oh,
and that was
you've been here ages.
That was Sarah Lee Jones. Changed my life. Absolutely changed my life, because listening to Sarah's talk, she gave a beautiful presentation on how she grew her business from nothing, like absolutely nothing, didn't have any money. She was a single mom and she just had a dream, and she just fought until she got there, and she fought against any obstacle that came her way. She created this NLP course and then wanted to take it to the next level, so wanted to get it up on is it Voucher or Groupon?
Groupon,
and they kept saying no. So I think it took her over a year to get them, after mithering them, to accept and say, okay, because they didn't do courses.
Yeah, so this is to put it into context. Sarah now owns one of the world's leading online course business. She's coming on the podcast soon. She has 2 million customers worldwide. And she basically started out being very cheeky. And I've had this story with most of our female entrepreneurs that come in to speak with us, say they had to be a bit cheeky to get in the door to be successful. And she constantly was emailing this contact she had at Groupon or wherever it was, and was like, I need to get my course. Your customers need my course. And they were like, I don't think they do at first. And she's like, no, I understand. Like, I know the market. It's going to go viral. Like, because at that point, Groupon were just doing like gifts for, say, spa days, was it? And, you know, car driving experiences, things like that. But she said, I think this would sell. And she finally got in, didn't she? After kind of like borderline harassment. No, I'm joking, sorry. But like, just pushing it, you know, to where you feel a bit awkward pushing it. But we have to be cheeky.
You have to sit with that discomfort sometimes and just step over your line where you think, you know, my higher self is past that line and I've got to do something uncomfortable to get there. So it's being brave, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Bold. She just pushed it and they went for it in the end, didn't they? And didn't she say like overnight she sold like 100 courses, like the launch?
It was something huge.
While she was sleeping, she like woke up and was
so now she is here to teach women and show women or anybody that you have the capability if you only believe in yourself to do anything. So at every talk now she says, everyone can write a course. Everyone can write a book.
We all have one within us.
We all have, that was it. Yeah, we all have one within us. And that really inspired me.
I like the fact, I think even me, myself and I, what am I on about? But you know, even myself, like I often think everyone can just sit down and create a course quite easily. Like even if it's an ebook, you know, it doesn't have to be you speaking on camera, because I know a lot of people are camera shy, but you have the option now in this day and age to write a course, put it out there on your Instagram or your channels and just get consistent with sharing it. And you can monetize it. Like it's actually quite simple. And now we've got things like ChatGPT and AI. We could all create this. So
so you can just use those tools to support you. It doesn't mean that you're cheating. You can just get that kind of support, or you can ask it for little bits of help. So you can go on ChatGPT and kind of say, I want to create a course. What is it that I need to do?
Yeah, don't get it all to write it for you, of course, but like get inspiration or word check it. I'm like dyslexic, so I need it to check my spelling, because you know what I'm like. In emails, did I mess up the other day?
Yes, all the time.
Oh my God. Louise,
just send it to me first to check it.
Honestly, with my dyslexia, hey, Richard Branson said the other day that like, what was it?
Makes something it more relatable.
Like, was it 60% of entrepreneurs are like dyslexic or something? The most successful, you know, it's quite common, but I do need help with like spelling checks and my emails sometimes. I apologize in advance if you get an email from me. But it was interesting with Sarah because I loved the one takeaway, because we're going to give you a few takeaways from some of our guests. She said everyone should have a big whiteboard in the house, and you should. So she said at first she'd write, I want to make like £1,000 months. And then she started going, well, I've got a child to feed. I want to have £50,000 months, £100,000 months. And she said, like, it was a bit spooky. Like, the sales just started going up and up and up. And obviously she was working. She was driving the sales. But she'd been cheeky. She put herself out there. And then once she had a £2 million week. A week. I mean, imagine that. Like, just visualize that.
But she didn't let other people get in her head, because I think that's one thing that people struggle with the most, is that they'll tell their dreams to somebody else and they'll knock it down. So never, ever take advice from someone who's never been in your shoes and never achieved what you are trying to achieve. So Sarah would write, I want a £10,000 month on her whiteboard, and her friends would come over and say, don't be silly, you can't, don't be ridiculous, like, that's a little bit too much. And she was like, no, I'm going to do it. And she did it.
It's amazing, like what she's achieved. And other people that we've had, like, they've been cheeky. I've just thought of that Love Raw owner, Rinny. So she got herself into Whole Foods. So she turned up at Whole Foods and said she had a meeting that she didn't have. And just basically, they were like, oh, we can't see you on the list. So, oh no, don't worry. And just took herself up. I mean, how cheeky.
Brilliant.
But brilliant, because she got her first order. She said at that point she didn't even have the labels, or I think she was hand making everything and self-packing all her products. So she makes like vegan chocolate, and at that point it was like healthy bars,
wasn't it?
But like, we've got to be cheeky. And I've actually done this. So like lately, hopefully they're not listening, but I've been chasing this venue, my dream venue that I wanted to do events from. They have over like 600,000 followers. And they just weren't getting back to me. And I was just like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to ring them. I'm going to Instagram them. And yeah, at first they said, no, sorry, we don't do those kind of events here. And I just didn't accept the no. And I said, well, I think if we did them in this way, it would work for you. And we've got it. We got it. Like, so I'm like, you just got to be cheeky. Like, you've just got to be... and show people that they might not have seen the vision you have. Just give them that idea.
Because if that was nailing it on the head then. If they don't quite grasp the vision that you've got, then they're not going to say no. They're not going to say yes. So you just pestering them and just getting them to see it from a different perspective. They might be like, oh, do you know what? I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, cool, let's go for it.
And now we're really lucky to have these like accessories on like online. So this lady the other day sent me an email that she wants to be involved in the Wellness Summit. And now we're starting applications for that. And she applied with a Loom video. And I thought that is really clever. And I think we should do this for our big brands now. So she sent me this email, but it popped out because it instantly started showing this video like, hey, I want to work with you, Wild and Wild, da, da, da. And I thought, how clever. That's just grabbed my attention. I would not delete this email because I'm intrigued what she wants to say. And I watched the whole video. So if you want to get people's attention, be a bit more visual. Use like cool content. And she just did it in a house. Like, it's good.
Yeah, you don't need a fancy background somewhere. It's not about that. It's about the content that you're putting out there, what you're saying. Is it something of value? Yeah. So that brings us on to another topic of like how to support people with their social media.
Exactly. So this is a question we get asked all the time. How the hell do I grow? I feel stuck. I've got the, a few hundred likes every time I post. I don't get many views. I've not got that many followers. And I have to say first, before we go into this, it doesn't matter so much on your followers. People get so caught up. Like we've got 16,000 or something on followers
16.5
on socials, but it doesn't matter how many followers you have. Even if you had 100,000 followers, even if you had 200 followers, it's about who shows up and cares about you.
Exactly. Having that strong community.
Yeah. If you had 200 people that actively bought from you every month, buys your product, comes to your events, that is your business sustainable. So don't get caught up on that. I just wanted to say first, because it's numbers. It's like, but it is great to grow, of course. It brings you a lot of excitement because when we got past 5,000, 10,000, we start then getting brands getting in touch with us. It gives you more wiggle room, I'd say.
Yeah, you've got more opportunities if you do increase that follow count.
So I'll look, because I'd put some notes on my phone. I wanted to say, like, I would say get consistent. Really, consistency is key on social media. So TikTok, if you can, of course, post like 3 times a day. We're still growing on TikTok.
We're trying on TikTok.
Instagram is, again, consistency. The best piece of advice I always talk about these happy pair twins because they have a massive following over in Ireland. They had this vegan community. And before we opened our health cafe, they let us visit them in Ireland and they sat down with us for an hour and gave us loads of business advice. And they said, just get on. I was going to try and do an Irish accent. I'm not going to do that. But I was like, why? What am I thinking?
Imagine.
But they, maybe another time. But
do it.
They said, just get on your stories, showcase what you're doing. You're making that brownie, you're serving that coffee, get testimonials. And at first you feel really silly, but I am always so surprised how many people follow my stories. Like even on my personal page, they'll be like, oh, I saw you were up the cloud this morning and you did a run. And sometimes it can be a bit odd because you just run into a stranger in the street and they're like, I saw you were there. But it's inspired. The amount of people that say to me, wow, that inspired me to go on a run this morning, or that inspired me to come down to your cafe and buy that. And we have it obviously with our events. We don't try and sell now. So the big thing I'd give you advice, takeaways, don't try and sell on social media. Try and be like you're their friend and you're giving them value. So everything you share is giving them some value. Hey, I went on a walk because it made me feel good today. And I'm doing this incredible. I'm going to this today to help me in this way. And this is how you can too. Give them takeaways. So like your takeaways, I'd say get consistent on socials. Show up as authentically you. So don't try and be someone else. Be like your authenticity shining through on camera. So I would say like try and do some reintroduced posts are always good. Trying to do some carousel posts where it showcases the journey you've been on. So everyone's had the ups and downs in life. Everyone's been through hardship, even if it feels small to you, tell your community that. Like go, I went through a really hard time and then I decided to launch into this business or do this thing. And this is how I grew. And this is what I learned along the way.
You never know who you're going to inspire with that story because you think they might read that and go, do you know what? I've been through something similar. Or I just thought that she's had it really easy and it was all handed it to her on a plate.
People might think that about me.
She's faced adversity and still made it.
People might think that about me and it's fine. People might think I had, my mum was a self-made millionaire. But actually, my mum wasn't one of those people that just made me just like have that privileged life. She was like, you need to work hard and you need to start.
You're one of the hardest workers I've ever known, to be honest.
Bless you.
Genuinely, like what she instilled in you and has inspired in you is definitely not been handed. And me, oh my gosh, that woman changed my life.
And we'll come back to that in a minute because actually she's really changed so many people's lives. And it's part of the reason I set up this community. Hard work is key and consistency is key. But what was deep rooted in me is community. And that's what I feel social media is a powerful tool for community. You're connecting with your audience. So if you can get consistent and show up for them, imagine it like a friend, you're showing up for a friend and you're giving them these pearls of wisdom on their daily and so say if you were like a baker, you baked cakes or sourdough or something, you're showing them why it's good for you, like gut health. These are some top tips for gut health. This is why you should use my product, or why you should have a mindful pause in the day and enjoy something.
Yeah.
It can be for any product, any service. So that's one of them. Just be consistent and show people the behind the scenes of your business or how it runs. And people are quite nosy. Like naturally, we're quite nosy people. And we like to see what day in the life or how did they get to where they are today? Things like that. And I would get active on there. So if you're currently a bit stuck on your algorithms, reach out to people and just start dropping in their DMs. This is how I grow the most. I'd actually say this is key. Comment on loads of people's posts. So obviously you want to be inspired by them.
Yeah, don't just pick someone random for the sake of just
not for
getting
the
your
sake
face
of
out
it.
there.
But like if it's in your industry and you're a wellness practitioner, or say if you're in marketing, go and get inspired by their posts and say, hey, amazing, cheerlead them on.
Yeah, support them as well, because it is all about celebrating each other, and people don't realize the power that it has supporting somebody else's business by one like, one send, one save, one little comment, one share. It really does boost that person's algorithm and get it out to more people, which is going to support 100%. Their business. So you as a person who's trying to grow your own business, if you can do that for somebody else,
it shows you're being actively supportive in that channel. And don't forget, the end of the day, Instagram and TikTok are all built on algorithm. They want you to be most active. So if you could dedicate, I don't know, even half an hour a day or an hour or a week or whatever, simply going on and start chats in your DMs, even with your actively chat with your community members, start commenting more, start liking more. Just if you actively show up on these socials, they will favor you. And also top tip is anything new that they bring to the page, like let's say Instagram, for example. So like say if they go, oh, trial reels are launching now, or this new sticker, or do it because they favor accounts that do the new, like they want to like product test on you.
Yeah.
And they'll end up favoring you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that Vicky Owens gave us a really, really good tip, didn't she?
I love Vicky Owens. She's amazing.
So Vicky is known for making brands go viral. So she's an expert in virality.
Yes.
And she has given some really fantastic tips to us at our Women's Empowerment Networking event. And then she's got her own mastermind classes now.
She's going to come on our events, and she's going to be a speaker in a few months. And also we're getting her on the podcast, which is exciting. So she always says as well, which I didn't know this, hands down didn't know this, to put hashtags and to put SEO into the reels. So if you create a reel, quite catchy one, TikTok are good for creating like those kind of reels because it's just easy to
gives
create.
You lots of templates, doesn't it?
If you drag the keywords to the outside,
make it really small so you can just write a load of words on there that won't be seen by the public. Your audience won't see them, and if you just shrink them down and just drag them out of the way, but the platform can read it.
Yeah.
But if you make it on TikTok with those words and drag it out of the way, and then put it on Instagram can't read that word, so
you need
redo
to redo
it again on the platform that you're using and drag that away.
So just to check everyone, like you won't see them, your followers won't see them, you've got to drag them right out of view, just like when you drag a picture out and you don't want it anymore, or a tagline if you're tagging someone like that, and then it actually prioritizes your SEO, because everything's SEO. We need to get more active on getting in the search engine optimization. We need to use, like, if you don't know who your target audience are, we can help with AI, can help you with that. So go in ChatGPT and say, I'm struggling with, this is my business. Ask me some questions to understand my business more. And then please, can you optimize my SEO and tell me what keywords I should be using? And then you can start to use them on your channels. And also, like, newsletters are really powerful, blog posts on your website. Like, again, with websites, people don't often understand, the more active you are on your website, the more you're often going to show up in Google and things.
Yeah, that's true. That's something that I hadn't really thought of.
And one more thing, sorry,
full of it
too many
today.
takeaways. I had never realised that in ChatGPT, you can be optimized. So
Yes, I didn't know about this.
this blew my mind. So we had a couple of months ago in Nantwich, someone come and I said, oh, how did you find out about the event? I'm always interested. He said, oh, ChatGPT recommended you. They said, I asked for top things to do in Cheshire for women. And because I'm active on ChatGPT and I use it to my advantage, it had told all our local people that I'm Wild and Wild are the best to go to. So weird. Now it's going to change.
Amazing.
People are going to start using ChatGPT as Google.
I have heard that a lot
search.
lately. I know some people are a bit afraid of using it, but most people now are using that instead of Google search.
It's so
Have to fact check, but it will. You can ask it to fact check itself.
Look, and I understand that people are hesitant with this, but I was listening to Mel Robbins' podcast with that Emma Greed the other day, and she said we've just got to get with the times. We have to grow. AI is going to take over a lot of the work, like not take over jobs. I didn't mean that, but even though it is, but we can optimize it and use it for so many ways in our businesses. Like it can do accountancy and tracking and SEO.
Organising your day as well. You know, if you put in everything or your month, your calendar, it can organise that for you so it can time save. I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
And it can create templates for you to edit and to suit your brand a little bit more. And all of that does is save you time so that you can give your company and your movement more.
But especially as female founders, I really believe in that because we're at what's the word? Unequal like pay gap and
like
things
the
like
funding
this.
gap.
And there's like we had that amazing. We're going to have Giselle on the podcast who's going to talk about how it is harder for women in the workforce, especially after having children. She's wrote an amazing book. What is it?
Can women really have it all?
That's it. She talks about that. We need to start supporting these female founders, and society isn't set up to support these female founders. So, actually, if we can use AI to our advantage, it's going to help us, and we have to get with the times. And even though obviously I wouldn't say, always work with people, it's good to have a workforce, and I don't want it to take away jobs, and don't just use it for copy on your post. You need to edit them and like make it sound from your heart. But I think it is a powerful tool. Yeah,
definitely. And it's not just about it taking other people's jobs. There's people out there that haven't got any money that want to create their own businesses and can't afford to pay for somebody to come and help create a website or teach them how to do things. Or they can use the free version of this ChatGPT or this whatever it is.
Exactly that. You're so right, Lou. Because they could formulate a business from nowhere, from their living room. And that is really powerful. It's empowering for women to be able to, we could all create a business online today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Using these tools.
Yeah.
And also something I'm probably going off on one, but a big one for me is like set these micro moves. So daily to have these micro tools that are like non-negotiables. So say now, all of you women listening could set 5 things that you do every day that grow your business. So this could be one email to a new brand or prospect or a company or something to help your business grow. 2 posts on stories. I don't know. Let's think of some. 1 blog. I don't know. Something like this.
Just like 1 post on social media. If you're on TikTok, just go and even if you just go and like somebody else's post or send them a message.
It's not just about what we do on socials and like emails and things like that. Also checking in with yourself. So that could be a non-negotiable. You could say that every hour of like work I'm doing, I go outside for 5 minutes and just have a
So if you're building something right now, you're going to be spending a lot of time maybe sat behind a desk looking at a screen all day. So to make sure that you don't burn out and then can't give your everything to that movement, that initiative, you need to implement some self-care in there too. Go to a yoga class or just put it on YouTube for free, or go and put your feet on the earth, ground a little bit.
That's powerful.
Do some breaths, even if you're absolutely rushed off your feet. Everybody, even when you nip for your toilet break, can do a gentle, small breath work, even if it's just 2 rounds of.
We can do it now. We could do it like
breathing.
Box breathing is powerful. Breathe in for 4. Hold. Just feel this. It's very powerful. Breathe out for 4. Hold. And then start again. And you could just do that, and instantly you feel like, I just reset myself. I've calmed my central nervous system. And we don't realize our nervous system is key. Like the mental load that we have in the morning when we wake up, we check our emails, the social media, all the things that are going on, the buzz of having kids and like people relying on us. We need these little moments in our day.
Especially as women, you know, we are very, very good at multitasking and at taking on multiple things at multiple times. But if we don't have a practice in place, that is going to stop us from burning out or spiraling, you know, getting bogged down with illness because we've just pushed our bodies and our minds too far.
So even if, like that's perfect. Because even if we could have 5, maybe more business tasks a day, and then maybe like 3 or 5 self-care tasks a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously,
if you can plan ahead of time, if you know, do you know what, tomorrow's going to be a really busy day and I'm going to be working from morning till night, I'll make sure when I finish, or I'm going to carve out 10 minutes in the day to just go for a little walk, or I'm just going to do whatever it is, put on my favourite song, or just do you know what, that day I'm going to be really busy, so I'm going to make sure I've got something really nice to eat that day.
Like we have to set these non-negotiables or we do burn out. And then think of the time you lose when you burn out. You're just stuck in bed or you're like overstimulated and you can't think straight. You know, it's awful.
Hard to get going again. You go into procrastination mode and you're in like paralysis mode.
Yeah.
I get stuck in that.
But there's so many things we can do. And I mean, I know we've gone a bit off topic, but like with the growth tactics, but I think it's important though. Self-care is so key for growth. Like we have to invest in ourselves. And I know that like Vicky Owens is a good example because she's created this socially speaking media, and she says she doesn't start the workday till 11. She goes and does a yoga class or does some self-care in the morning. And actually I thought that was really interesting because us like CEOs or female founders, we often, we're on work mode all the time. Like even when I put my kids to bed, I'm often catching up and, you know, I know I shouldn't. Louise will shout at me for this. But just doing my emails or going through my task list from the day, closing down the day. So we are working like 24/7 when we're female founders. If you can just get that day, you know, that self-care in the morning, go on a nice walk. I always do my CrossFit and my fitness in the morning. It makes me feel good. And then you're more motivated to get things done.
More motivated. You've inspired me this year, actually. And now I know that things are about to get insanely busy because Wild and Wild is booming now. Wow, it's getting this. We are about to go insanely.
Oh my gosh.
Just go, go, go. I now have a routine in place where I know that either in the morning or in the afternoon, once I've completed all my tasks, so I'll either go for a walk or have my self-care and then do all my tasks. But I'm not allowed to go on my last task unless I've done all these things, just because that's the way that my brain works. And if I know that I've got this lovely walk to go to, or I'm going to do yoga, or I'm going to binge watch a program or something, then I can get through my task list. If I know that I'm just doing this and I'll do an hour here, then I'll do an hour in this afternoon, then I'll do an hour after the kids go to bed, then I feel like I've been working all day and in reality I've done 3 hours.
And you have to gift yourself. It's so important.
Yeah, precisely.
Is there any other growth tactics? I'm trying to think. I wrote on my phone some other ones. Show behind the scenes. Build relationships is really key. So I actually think obviously a growth tactic is networking because, and you know what, I don't see our events as just networking. I say networking.
It's tricky because
it's so much more.
It kind of is networking, but it's so much more that you don't want to insult it by calling it networking.
I went to a networking the other day and honestly, it was so corporate and so funny, like different. And like, it was so like, this is the agenda. And I was like, this is so far away from what we are. We are welcoming people with a smile, getting you a nurturing cup of tea. We might do some breath work. We might sit down. We hear from all of you. We have an inspirational speaker. We give goodie bags of wellness products from all the different brands we work with. We empower them to then have a healthy lunch and look after themselves, eating nourishing foods.
Get a headshot.
Yeah, incredible photographers.
I was thinking about this the other day. You would pay so much more for a headshot session than you would for our entire networking.
Exactly. So we might like average like £35-40 of networking. You might pay £200 to get those headshots. And like say working with some of these photographers, shout out to all of them. We've even got the Man City photographer who used to work for Man City.
Victoria Hayden.
Victoria's incredible. And she's now focusing just on female founders. And
brilliant.
Really amazing. And some of the other ones we're working with are incredible. I'm so grateful for them. And they show up and they give you that one-to-one experience. So it's so much more than networking. But the reason I said networking is because we need to get ourselves out to build relationships. This is key for business. And what you, interjecting into what you said earlier about the loneliness, some people listening might think, I'm not lonely, but are you lonely? Because a lot of us female founders often work from home or work from a coffee shop. We might be in a place where there's a lot of people, but you're working by yourselves and you're just constantly on your own. The pressures are all on your own. You're trying to grow your business, you're trying to reach out to this person. Once you come to our events, you're then collaborating and you take the workload off you by saying, oh, hey, could you help me with this? Well, actually, maybe you can do this a bit for me. Let's recommend each other.
Yeah, it's not just that either. It's that the friendships that you have might not understand the pressures that you're under. So just sharing that with women that are in your similar kind of situations just makes you feel less alone anyway.
100%. And it's those we surround ourselves with. What is it, like the top 3-5 people you surround yourself with can make such an impact.
Huge. Yeah, if you I always come back to this. If you hang around with 5 smokers, you'll become the 6. If you hang around with 5 millionaires, you'll become the 6.
Yeah.
You choose who you spend your time with has a huge impact on who you will become.
Yeah, it's so powerful. And I feel like we could just talk growth strategies all day, but we will be drawing on this throughout the podcast. So we're so excited. We've got the most incredible guests like coming onto the show. We're going to have loads of guest speakers. It's going to be me and Louise diving into these topics, and we're going to have questions from you as the audience. So you can send them into our Instagram.
Yeah, we want to hear from you as well. Like, what do you want to know?
Yeah, there's so many exciting things going on. And obviously our online community, so we'll pop in the show notes a link to our online free community where you can come on to bi-weekly webinars, you can have ebooks, self-care classes. Oh my God, we've got so much on there.
Oh, there's so much on there. You know, you've got yoga, meditation, Pilates, you know, all of the educational things to help you grow in business.
Yeah.
And you've got your community in there.
I just thought as well, we didn't touch on how we met.
Oh, yes. I was just thinking about your mum then, because you really are I can see your mum radiating from you right now, honestly.
So many people keep saying this recently. Like, I don't know. I've been on this fitness journey.
You're becoming more like
They said you look like your mum, like more. And I keep seeing you on social media. You're like your mum and your voice sounds like your mum. Like, what the hell's going on?
It is. I feel like she's just radiating through you right now in the most beautiful way.
She would
honestly.
love this. Like, in ways, she would just be, I know she'd be proud, but she'd love it. My mum always wanted to do women's empowerment talks. She did do that.
She did.
But she was in the British manufacturing men's world. So she was like, I'm sick of all the builders' bottoms. She'd be like, I just want to see women's faces lighting up. I don't want to be the one woman in the room of 100 men.
Yeah.
I want to be, and so her vision, and it's sadly, she got taken too soon from cancer, but she wanted to get on stage. And I feel like in a way, I'm embodying her journey.
Absolutely. You're that living legacy right now.
Thanks,
You're
Lee.
radiating Dawny energy.
But she jumped on you, didn't she?
Yes, the most vibrant woman I've ever met. So Wild and Wild, when it was once a cafe.
Yeah, the coffee shop and wellness cafe.
So we went on like day 2 of it opening, and we went with my husband's mum as well, so it was my daughter. And we'd been in and we'd met April and Chris and clicked instantly. We just got chatting.
And when was it? About 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then we came out and the market was on, and Dawn walked past us and we'd seen her from the socials. And Dave, my husband, is very, very sociable as well, a bit like Dawny. And he's like, I swear that's April's mum. So he's like, are you April's mum? And she went, oh my goodness. And she just threw her arms around him, kissed him all over the face, kissed me all over the face, kissed Dave's mum all over the face. Such beautiful people. And then ever since that day, she's called us, oh, it's the beautiful people. And she just, from that day, she just brought us into the family. We felt like we were one of her children.
Well, it did feel like that. Like, it was, what I have to say is through that cafe and having that business, it was never a failure closing that business, because I brought the most amazing connections. And you coming into my life, like, I felt like when you came in, I felt like I'd known you for years. I remember stood there, even meeting Amelia as a young,
She was 1.
2? Yeah, 1.
1, just
and
1.
I was like, I felt really connected to you. And then you started coming to the women's circles. So my mum had this gorgeous retreat centre at her house, and it was like, oh, magical. We did it for like, 10 years there. And even though I was doing them before, obviously I met you as well. But she just greet everyone with that energy, that hug and embrace. But something about you coming was just like, we felt like we were like connected already.
Yeah, we were all, I don't know, just one of those, you know, when you just meet somebody and you know that you were just meant to meet. It was just one of those. It was so powerful. We were at every kid's birthday party. Mum was always like, oh, the beautiful people must come. She'd send me messages privately. I'd go to the cafe on my own, sometimes just hoping to bump into her, which I always did.
But this was her energy. This is what I want to manifest into, because it's like, you know, when you met my mum, even if you had a minute with her, people be like, she has completely changed my day.
Yes.
Like, I just call her and be like, Mum, I'm having a hard day. she would just say the right word, and like you just bump into her in the street and she'd get people quitting their jobs and going into business.
Oh my goodness.
And like she just inspire the world, and that's what I want to become with Wild and Wild. And
you already are.
And you felt like you were in a bit of a hard time at that time.
Oh God, back then I don't think I had any friends at all. I had my family, obviously I'm really close with my cousins. But I was not, I'd only been a few years out of a relationship, well, say about 5 years, but I was really close with that person's friends and family. So when I left, I had nothing.
Yeah, of course.
And then sunk really, really fast into depression through IVF and everything. And then
you went on
endometriosis. I was a completely different person. I was a shell of who I was, but I'm so glad I left that person behind, because who I grew from that. And that all started from walking in those cafe doors.
Really?
And meeting your mum and meeting you and Chris and being surrounded by all these people. I was already practicing yoga and wanted to, my mission then was to become a yoga teacher and to, host all these retreats. But I thought, but I don't really go to many of these. So yours was the first women's circle that I'd been to. And then from then I was like, yes, this is my life. These are my people. I found everybody that's meant to be in my life.
A light bulb just lights on, doesn't it?
Life changed.
Yeah.
And I learned to communicate better. I started working in the cafe. That was one of my favourite jobs ever.
Oh, that was fun.
I loved talking to people.
You
and
were so
it really
good at it.
helped me to grow as a person.
I think that I honestly think that everyone should work in a coffee shop.
I agree.
Just for, honestly, out of like young kids, we had like 60, like little, oh my God, Lily and Lottie and
they
these
were
kids,
amazing.
They grew up through Wild and Wild, like, and just seeing them, not too young, I didn't have people like too young, but they were like teenagers. And honestly, the impact it gives you with social skills and connection and caring about people and being kind.
I don't know any other teenagers that speak and communicated the way that they did.
They were so strong.
They were beautiful, beautiful people.
And learning about food and service. I think it sets you up. Like, I honestly think everyone should try hospitality, because it's got me where I am today. Like, I feel like I could do any business now.
You meet so many different kinds of people. And Wild and Wild back then as a cafe, it wasn't just a cafe. It was a community. Like I went when I was lonely, when I felt down and I wanted to see somebody, because even though I'm not from Congleton, I wasn't from that area, I walked in that space and I knew I was going to bump into somebody that I now knew, somebody that would be friendly with.
Amazed me. Like sometimes people come in 2 times a day. Like, honestly, like we'd have older people coming in. Like, I just feel home here. And we'd have businessmen and different people that come and work from there. But like, in a weird way, it didn't had an age, like, what's the word? Like, everyone would just merge, like, start chatting to each other.
It was beautiful. Everybody from all different backgrounds, ages. It was just so, everybody had something to give to each other. You'd lovely. Sit there and just meet somebody or start up a conversation, and you hosted different events there. Your mum hosted the Diwali, the Celebration of Light Festival, and lots of different events there.
Men's circles, women's circles, like the dementia meets always brought them a heart warm.
And the mummy meets and the voices, the singing.
Yeah, the baby
so
singing.
many things. So Wild and Wild has always been community.
Yeah, it has.
To me, it's community at its heart, and it changed who I am. And I am so grateful to be sat here with you right now and to be part of Wild and Wild. It's just so beautiful.
Well, to close, shall we bring a little card in? Because usually at our events we do a little oracle card, so I thought it'd be quite cute to do. Should we do one each or just do one? We'll just do one.
Just do one.
Do you want to pick it, Lou? So we're just pulling a little, they're called the Empowered Women cards. And actually I love this author. She's incredible. Leslie Stone.
When I first started going to yoga classes and you used to have to pick an intention, something that you want to manifest or something you want to feel. Mine was always freedom, because I was a mother to a young child and I just felt really trapped and I didn't have a community around me. And this one says freedom.
Aww.
Freedom is my true goal and most important outcome.
I love that. I feel like in freedom can be like understood in so many ways as well, like financial freedom, freedom just to do what you really authentically want in your life. Like we all have this within us, and we all have peace within us. We just need to trust the process. And I think we should do our next ones about like law of attraction, manifesting, all of this.
Find your tribe as well and they will take you far.
Thank you so much for being here for our first podcast. We're just so excited for this movement, and hopefully we'll see you at an event soon.